Hey guys, it's Dar here from Damage Alliance, bringing you another video. Today I'm going to be covering my spec and how to play, or how I play as a Sage healer. So I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so kicking right off, I'm going to start off with my spec, and now this isn't the be-all or end-all spec. There are some places I could improve, somewhere I've decided to go against it or whatever, but this is one I play with, and it's also a spec that I play with both PvE and PvP. Anyway, starting from left to right, our first point, or first 2 points, is going to go into Untunable Force, I think that's right, which reduces the activation time of Deliverance by 5.5 of a second. And even though this doesn't sound like much, it can really make, if you get a top off before someone dies, or if someone needs to be healed over a certain amount, it just speeds up the process. Next is Penteering Light. Now, even though this isn't a must, you're going to need one of it for a filler point, and I've actually taken all three because I rely very heavily on crit in my rotation or my playing style. Anyway, moving on, Wisdom. I have taken and put 2 points in. Now, some people don't do this, but it's kind of stupid when it, even though it's 6% presence buff, really doesn't mean much. The 2% healing down is very, very good. So, Foresight. I put 3 out of 3 in this, and it reduces the pushback suffered while activating healing abilities by 75% and lowers the threat generation by 15%. This is very, very useful to put 3 points into it. Next, I have not put any points into Pain Bearer, which increases all healing received by 4%. Like this, yes, I could take it better, but I've decided to put 2 points somewhere else where I find that I need them more. I don't think I really need this one. Moving on to Psychic Sufficient, which increases the damage and healing of area effect abilities by 10%. This is a must because of the later ability we get at the top of our tree. Now, moving on to the middle one, before I go to the left one, it's Rejuvenate. This is your first spell for the Seer tree, which is the healing tree, and it basically is an immediate heal for X amount, and then it also heals for X amount over 15 seconds. Now, going up to the left, we have Conveyancy. This is a must, which it has 100% your rejuvenation, 100% chance to grant Conveyancy, which will increase the effect of your next healing ability, and it does it to different things. So Benevolence will increase the crit chance, Deliverance will reduce the cost, Healing Trance will increase the crit, and Salvation will reduce the cost. Anyway, going over to Preservation, which reduces the cost of Force Armor by 30 and reduces the cooldown of Force Armor by 3. This is a must. Now, Valiance. This is one which you don't have to take, but it's a very highly recommended one. And also, if you might need it just for filling. But it basically reduces the health spent by Noble Sacrifice by 4%. It's highly recommended, but some people don't take it for some stupid reason, but yeah. Anyway, moving on to Mended Wounds. This one, it's another highly recommended one. Some people don't take it, which is kind of stupid, but basically it reduces the force cost of restoration, which is your cleansing ability, by 15 force, and it now also removes negative physical effects. It also heals them for a small amount. Moving on, we have Force Shelter. Now this is an upwards thing from Rejuvenate, and Force Shelter increases the duration of Rejuvenate by 6 seconds. In addition, Rejuvenate has a 100% chance to apply Force Shelter, and it basically increases your armor by 10%. So this, once again, not a must, but a highly recommended. Igris, which the Force Armor now increases your movement speed by 20%. This is not really important, but it's probably most likely needed for filling ability. You're Confounded. Now, I haven't put any in this because I really don't throw out any DPS whatsoever, and I really should, but basically, your Weakened Mind, people who are affected by Weakened Mind, are slowed by 10% for its duration, but I don't use it, so I just left it up. Healing Trance. Now this is probably the bread and butter of at least my rotation. I know people don't rely too heavily on this, I'm not stupid, but it's basically a channel heal which does X amount immediately, X amount over 3 seconds. Moving on, we have Sincerity, which increases your force critical chance hit by 2% and reduces damage taken. This is a must, once again, because my rotation relies very heavily on crit, and that reduced damage is just really too nice to pass up. Now, Resplendence, this is a must, or for me, it is a must, but Healing Trance with crits now has a 100% chance to make your next Noble Sacrifice activate without the debuff you get from it, which reduces your force regen. Now, in past, before patch 1.2, this also used to take away the health, like, used to make it a free cast so you didn't have to spend any health on it, but of course that was so OP they nerfed it, now it just gets rid of the debuff. Now this one, I cannot say, Chelevoyancy or something like that. Increases your bonus healing by 6% and a chance to hit with all abilities by 3%. This is very nice, and I would say it's a must. And on the top of our tree we have Salvation, which heals up to 8 allies that will remain within 80 meters of the target area for X amount of 10 seconds. Once again, this is so OP, it's not fun, but it is a must. And if you go back down to this one, Psychic Infusion, you're also getting an extra 10% buff. That's why you spec'd into it. Anyway, moving over, I've put 1 into Balance, and that was just mainly because I had a spare point left over, and I put 7 into Telekinetics, but there's 1 in here which I'm thinking of taking back. I had it, then I got rid of it, now I'm thinking of retaking it. But anyway, in Telekinetics, I've gone for Inner Strength, which reduces the force cost of force attacks and healing abilities by 9%. This, I would suggest, is a must. Mental Longevity, which increases your total force by 100. Once again, this is a must. And the Telekinetic Defense, which increases the amount absorbed by Force Armor, and if you were like me, just pop Force Armor every single person who takes damage, just like everyone, it's going to be probably a very highly recommended one. Now this consecration or whatever it is, I have it, or I had it, and then I got rid of it because I thought I could do better stuff with the 2 points, sorry. But I'm now deciding that I might go back to it because it reduces the pushback suffered with all these spells which we don't really have except for disturbance or whatever it is. And in addition, when you hit with disturbance, it has 100% when it's got 2 points in to increase your force regen by 10%, and it stacks up 3 times. Now this itself isn't very good for regenning, but if you want to throw out DPS, it means that you don't really have to worry about losing the force from that DPS. And I'm thinking to pick up just because it's really handy if I want to throw out some DPS. Now the one point I put over here is just the Will of the Jedi, which increases willpower a little bit, but that's, I don't know, I don't need it. I might take that point and put it back here, and I think I might take 1 point from here somewhere, wherever it is, and put it back to. But yeah, that's basically my spec. And now I'm going to talk about rotation.